Parker's ZoomLock push-to-connect refrigerant fittings allow contractors to make secure leak-free connections. No brazing torch needed. No press tools or jaws are necessary. Connect copper with a simple push with no problem. Installing new equipment has gotten easier and more efficient. In seconds, connect the refrigerant piping with a simple push. HVACR professionals know that time is money. With a simple push, you can impact your company's bottom line by saving time with ZoomLock push-to-connect refrigerant fittings. There are a few things to keep in mind when installing the ZoomLock push fitting. As with any ZoomLock product, it's essential to prep the piping. Use a commercially available copper tubing cutter. Take your time to ensure a clean, smooth cut. Make sure that there are no burrs or rough edges. Check that the tubing has retained its shape and is damage-free. Do not use hacksaws or reciprocating saws when cutting copper tubing, as this creates a rough surface that may damage the O-rings in the fittings. To deburr the copper tubing thoroughly, use a commercially available deburring tool to remove residual burrs from the outside and inside of the copper tubing. Angle the tubing downwards to prevent filings from entering the tubing. The tubing end should be inspected. Address any sharp edges. Clean the tubing ends thoroughly using a cleaning pad in a rotating action. It must be free from scratches, oxidation, and debris. Scratches on the copper tubing within the O-ring sealing area can potentially provide a leak path for refrigerant to escape. Sand smooth, shallow scratches, and if deep scratches are present at the end of the copper tubing to be connected, cut off the affected area. Watch for out-of-round tubing as well. Before inserting the copper tubing into the fitting, use the depth gauge to determine the correct insertion depth. Mark the tubing at the indicated depth so that you have a visual reference. Push the tubing into the fitting. Use the mark to assure the proper insertion depth for a secure fit. When brazing near ZoomLock push, ensure that there is a minimum of 14 inches between the flame and the fitting. We suggest using wet ragging or heat block for protection against heat transfer that may damage the fitting. Parker also offers a removable product. With ZoomLock Push Removable, you can disconnect the fitting with ease. First, isolate or remove the system charge. Then use the disconnect clip to press the release and remove the push fitting from the piping. ZoomLock push-to-connect refrigerant fittings allow contractors to make secure, leak-free connections. No brazing torch needed, and no press tools or jaws are necessary. Professionals set themselves apart with labor and time-saving solutions from Parker Sporlan. ZoomLock, the name you know, the brand you trust.